This is Metatherapy, where we talk about therapy itself, not advice, not diagnosis, just understanding the process so you can use it better. Each episode of Metatherapy is psychoeducation, not therapy. If something resonates, it's meant to be language you can bring back into your own work. I want to ask you something before we start. When you look at something, a tree, a word on a page, a face, what's doing the looking? You probably said, well, me, or maybe my eyes, or perhaps my brain. But none of those quite get at it, do they? There's something watching, something that notices. And in all the meditations we've talked about thus far, all the breath work, the body scans, the mindfulness exercises, that thing, that watcher, is almost never the object of the practice itself. Today it is. Most mindfulness practices use what researchers call focused attention. You pick an anchor, a breath, a sound, a sensation. And when your mind wanders, you bring it back. That's a valid and well studied technique. It's what we did in You Are Here. But there's a second mode of meditation practice, one that's less commonly taught, called open monitoring. And instead of narrowing your attention onto one object, you widen it. You let everything in, your thoughts, sounds, sensations, feelings, and you watch it all arise and pass without grabbing onto any of it. The goal isn't to focus better. The goal is to notice that you are the noticer. Researchers describe open monitoring as cultivating meta awareness. Meta therapy, meta awareness. This is distinct from focused attention, which improves your ability to direct attention. Open monitoring, or OM, improves your ability to watch attention. Both have clinical utility. Focused attention is especially useful for reappraisal and emotional regulation. OM is particularly associated with reduced mind wandering and decreased activation of the default mode network, the brain's rumination circuit. Here's the reason I care about this distinction so much. A lot of people I work with, and probably a lot you are watching, and probably yourself and myself, don't have a problem staying focused at work. We have a problem with what our minds do when they're not working, when we're bored. The runaway train of thought that starts when you put the phone down, the review of the conversation that keeps replaying, the anxiety that floods during the drive home. It's not a focus problem. That's a monitoring problem. And that's exactly what open monitoring trains. The practice I'm going to guide you through today does one thing. It asks you to step back from the contents of your experience and rest as the awareness that contains all of it. You don't have to believe that idea is to do the practice. You just have to try it. So let's set it up. So go ahead and find a comfortable position. Seated is ideal, either in a chair with both feet on the floor or cross-legged if that's accessible for you. You're aiming for alert and upright, not rigid, dignified, not stiff. Let your hands fall where they naturally fall and gently close your eyes or lower your gaze to the floor in front of you, whatever feels most settled. Take a slow breath in and let it go. One more in and let it go. Good. Going to now begin. Start by noticing that you are here, not thinking about here, not analyzing here, just here. Notice the weight of your body in your seat, the pressure of your feet on the floor, temperature of the air as it moves through your nose. You don't need to change any of this. You don't need to breathe differently or feel differently. Just arrive. Now, notice that you're noticing this. There's a sensation in your body, and there's something that knows it. That knowing, that quiet, clear awareness is what we're going to spend some time with today. Without trying to focus on anything in particular, let your attention simply open. Sounds will come and go. Let them. Thoughts will arise. Let them. Sensations in your body will shift. Let them shift. You might notice a sound outside, a car, maybe a voice, maybe some distant noise. Rather than trying to ignore it or focus on it, just notice that you can hear it. Whatever arises, your job is not to push it away. It isn't to hold on to. It's simply to notice that it appeared and then notice that it passed. Everything is moving through you, and something in you is still. Now, a thought may have arrived about your day, about this meditation, about whether you're doing this right. Notice it, not from inside it, maybe just behind it, like watching a cloud pass through the sky. You're not the cloud, you're the sky. And if you do notice that you've gotten absorbed in a thought, that's not a failure. That's actually the practice working. Because in this moment, you noticed. Something in you stepped back and saw what was happening. That step back, that's meta awareness. That's what we're teaching today. Without judgment, simply return to watching. What else is here? What else is arising and passing? For this last minute, don't do anything in particular. Don't try to monitor. Don't try to let go. Don't even try to focus. Just be the awareness that is already here, already watching, already open. You don't even have to create this awareness. You just have to stop obscuring it. Now, gently begin to let your awareness return to the room. Notice where you are. Feel the ground under your feet. Take a breath that's a little fuller than usual. And just release. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Something happened in there, whether it felt noticeable or not. The moment you caught yourself thinking and stepped back from it, that was meta awareness activating. Researchers looking at open monitoring meditation see changes in the DMN, or default mode network, the brain's background chatter circuit. Both focused attention and open monitoring quiet that network. But OM actually does something slightly different. It trains the part of you that can observe the chatter without being run by it. And that's clinically significant because insight, true insight, the kind of change behavior doesn't usually come from the content of our thoughts. It comes from getting enough distance from our thoughts to see them clearly. And look, the practice does not have to be long work. It's not something you have to sit and do for hours on end to gain some benefit from it. What you just did, even if it felt like your mind wandered the whole time, you were practicing. Every moment of noticing is practice. And if you want to take something into your day, the next time you catch yourself mid scroll, mid rumination, mid reaction, see if you can find that watcher, the part of you that's not the thought, the part of you that can see it. Tomorrow on Therapy Tech Tuesday, we're going to talk about why that watching capacity is so hard to access when this is in the room, and what behavioral science actually tells us is happening in your brain when you're being pulled toward a screen that didn't le- that you didn't consciously choose to check. What we practiced today, that's what's being competed for. And it's worth knowing who you're up against. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today, being aware of your awareness. And I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow on Tech Tuesday. My name is Dominic Adori, and so great to have you here. If you related to something in this meditation Monday, click like. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, share it with someone who you think might benefit, and I'll see you tomorrow. This has been Metatherapy, Meditation Monday.